Okay, today I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to talk about astral parasites, or what people will call in the New Age communities, loosh, and how they get embedded into the energy bodies, and then how to cure yourself of them, and what happens when you meet other people who have astral parasites who haven't done the work of purifying their koshas or their elemental bodies, and what kinds of things to expect once you start this process. Because I think a lot of people are so excited when they learn, oh my gosh, I can heal myself of these dark energies, but then they don't realize that there are some consequences in a world that isn't doing this work. And so I'll talk a little bit about those consequences. So before, I had talked about how the physical body that you have is your earth body. This contains all of your earth elemental energies, which manifest into your physical body. The next layer is the fire body, and this is what's called like the burning body, or the body from breathing and eating and fueling and moving. All the friction, all the fuel that you burn in life, even when you get anxious and when you get upset, it creates this pranic body, this fire body. Then above that is the water body. This is filled with our emotions, our emotional body. And then we have the mental body, which is air. And then the last one is ether, or spirit. Now, through lifetimes, even this one and previous, you have injuries or trauma happen to you, and you don't have the chance to heal those trauma. It creates void spaces within the energy body. It's almost like a little hole. And it's kind of like when you sit on your foot for a long time and it goes numb because there's no blood flow going there. And really what happens is when anyone or anything traumatizes you about a certain subject, or if they traumatize your body, you have a tendency to not want to look at that piece. You don't want to look at that body part. You don't want to think about that subject anymore. You want to basically like withdraw your awareness. So here I have a void space here. And this is in the emotion body. So let's say this is a heartbreak. Somebody broke our heart, and I don't want to think about loving anybody, right? And so I quickly like divorce my attention and do not focus on this. I focus on other things. And when that happens with chronic distraction and misdirection, these parts can become very atrophied, and beings can actually come in and reside in these places. And those beings can hijack our greater physical body by sending signals down into our body to gravitate towards people who have a very similar energy signature. So here I've created a second person who mirrors the same energy signatures, same parasites. Okay? And this could be like same type of mother wounds, same type of father wounds, raised by narcissistic parents, abused by narcissistic ex. There's all different types. I'm not saying there's one. You may have thousands in here. And then what ends up happening is where two or more are gathered, which is true. It does exponentially when you have two people enforcing a reality field. It can actually cause more trauma inadvertently and create more. And this would be the mental body. So this is a belief structure that is built on this parasite. You get together and somebody's like, yeah, I hate this person. Oh, yeah, I hate this person. And this, this situation is bad and there's no hope here, And so then this parasitic, then all of a sudden they traumatize each other in their belief system. And that void gets filled with some sort of parasitic entity. And if this continues long enough, then both people will be attracted to belief structures that are parasitic in nature, and then it can actually cause parasites to latch on and control your ether body. And when an outside spirit is able to control your ether body, they are able to hijack your nervous system and basically get you to do whatever they need you to do. They can hijack your mind, your emotions, your physical sensations. You can get completely confused. And I just kind of, this is a astral being. There's a lot of them, okay? There's a lot of beings out there that have learned how to hijack the human astral body in order to convince us. And here's one here. Here's another. You might actually have multiple astral beings that are hijacking. And then they could actually go to war with each other inside the body of the person. So the person might be and feeding loosh, which is this energetic energy. Instead of feeding to their energy body, they're feeding a portion of their energy to these beings. They're siphoning off energy from the people. Now, when you begin to do your purifying work, and your purifying work is you sit and meditate, you go within, and you act in your highest good. Highest good. This is going to agitate these layers because where these beings come from, they do not act in the highest good. Any being that loves another would never hijack it or parasite on it. It would actually give it full sovereignty to grow up and become its own being. These beings do not love us. They do not act in the highest good. They come from the lower astral realms, and I'll talk later about the astral realms. So a lot of times and this is what I'm seeing on TikTok, which is so exciting, a lot of people who are beginning to do the purifying work, they are recognizing these parasites in their dreams, and they're appearing as like poisonous vines or parasitic sort of like plants. For me, they appeared as clumps of these web worms when I was a little girl. I lived in Oklahoma, and they would get these like really scary webs in the fall in the trees, and they were these parasitic worms that would kill the trees. And for some reason, my mind cleaned on that. And so I know if I dream of those worms, that I am actually becoming aware of the parasites that are living within my sheaths or koshas, my elemental bodies. Now, here's the really cool thing, and this is this is so simple. I mean, when I figured it out, I was like, oh my gosh, so many spiritual communities, they make it so complicated. But you know, like when you sit on your foot for a long time and it gets cut off of circulation and it goes numb, and, you know, it could be parasitized, like being, you know, bacteria, any kinds of things can kind of like get in there and kind of eat away at the flesh. You know how you clean that out? You put blood flow back in. So all you need to do is you just need to become aware of the parasite. It's that simple. You go on a journey to become aware of these beings inside of you, and that sends blood flow, energetic blood flow into your 5 koshas, your elemental bodies. You literally just sit in meditation and you try to every day act in your highest good. And then you sit and you ask yourself, why did I want to yell at my friend today? Why did I want to lash out at people? Why did I want to be mean? And you just stare. And sometimes you'll see a vision of a being, which could be a reflection of this astral being that has hijacked you. Or you'll just see an image, and all you need to do is stare. But the thing is, our life distracts us so much from going within. We've got social media, we've got TikToks, we've got videos, we've got TV shows, we've got political just ideologies flying around, we've got arguments, we've got paying the bills, we've got our work, and none of us just sit down. This literally could be done in 10 minutes a day, just sitting and asking yourself, why did I not act in my highest good today? And once you do that, you start removing these parasites, because your blood, your energy of your psychic body flows into them, and it will naturally kick them out. That's the only thing. That's it. You have a natural immune system built in your spirit body, and these things will come out. So these areas might still be tender as you're healing, and I'm going to talk in part 2 what happens when you meet other people that have very similar astral parasites, because they're being hijacked by very similar astral beings, and what will happen to them, and what's the best way you can react. So I'll see you in part 2.